And now, live from the Elite Ringside Network studios, this is Raw Review. And here are your hosts, AJ Jensen and Spencer Hart.
No mercy. No mercy. Well, I don't know just where you came from, but I know you're going back. You better turn yourself around here, boy, before your world goes black. See, I mean to set you right here, son. I'll set you back on track. I ain't afraid to pay the number on your back. I'm a
What is going on, everybody? It's Spencer Hart. This is the Raw Review Smack Talk Super Show here on the Elite Ringside Network. We're going to record this in one go because we didn't have a chance to record yesterday for Smack Talk or Raw Review, so we're going to do it all in one show. I'm joined, as always, by the man himself, Mr. AJ Jensen. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I am doing well. So we are here again to recap Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Oh boy, we're off to a great start. I want to go right into Monday Night Raw because boy, did we start out Monday Night Raw with a. It was announced that The Miz would defend his title next week against the winner of a 25-man. I'm sorry, was it 15? 15 or 25?
What?
The Battle Royal.
You cut out on me for a second.
Oh, yeah, so the Battle Royal. There was 15 men?
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 15 men to determine the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Some of the people in the match were Finn Balor, Matt and Jeff Hardy. The Miz Taraj were in there as well. Elias is in there. But the winner, and quite shockingly, actually, the winner of the number one contender Battle Royal is Jeff Hardy. I want to get your thoughts on this because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking it's either going to be Jason Jordan or Finn Balor. One of those two. But when Jeff Hardy threw over Jason Jordan the top rope to win the Battle Royal, I was like, whoa, okay.
I like Jeff Hardy winning for so many reasons. One, I've always been a huge Jeff Hardy fan. We had a couple of interesting moments in this Battle Royal that I want to bring up quick. We had a stare down between Finn Balor and Jeff Hardy.
Yes, we did.
And as soon as that happened, the gears in my head just started turning. And I started thinking, wow, could you imagine the match that those two would have?
Yeah.
Like, that would be insane.
Yeah, that match would be absolutely insane. And I hope we get that down the road.
I hope so, too. And second, we had Bray Wyatt, who wasn't even in the match, come out and basically eliminate Finn Balor from the Battle Royal, thus furthering their feud. So apparently that is not done.
Nope.
So I'm okay with that. I'm hoping that whatever match they have next, they redeem themselves from that train wreck of a match at SummerSlam. Because I personally think both of their first match together on Raw was really good. That match at SummerSlam sucked.
Yeah.
So I think they can do better there. Jeff Hardy and The Miz, shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
I am, however, curious, though, if Jeff Hardy is going to win the Intercontinental Championship, because The Miz is reportedly supposed to start shooting for the Marine 6 upcoming here. So I really wonder if maybe we see a title change.
And that's, why I immediately went to either Jason Jordan or Finn Balor. Because you saw the tag teams. And normally when a tag team is in a Battle Royal, you're thinking, they're going to get eliminated separately, but neither one's going to go over because, they're a bona fide tag team. But with the Hardy Boys, it's not the case with Jeff Hardy going over for the win. I'm all for this decision. I was a huge fan of Jeff Hardy's singles career when he was his last run in WWE. he's a great worker as a singles competitor. Don't get me wrong, I love him with his brother Matt, but Jeff is a great singles competitor, and I think I would hope that Jeff wins if that's the case. If Miz is going to shoot a movie, they need to get the belt off him. I think you could have some fun with that. You would also have to figure out what you're doing with Matt.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. There's been rumors, and I've heard people talking about them splitting up Matt and Jeff Hardy, and them doing singles runs and stuff like that, which I would be okay with. It's just funny. I never really saw Matt Hardy as a great singles competitor. Not much like his brother Jeff was. I always thought his brother Jeff was maybe light years ahead of Matt almost when it comes to singles competition. But Matt over the years really grew into his own. And I'll even admit, and people can vouch for this, I hated the broken Matt Hardy gimmick.
Really?
At first.
I
hated
yeah.
it.
Okay.
At first. It grew on me, though. It grew on me. And I eventually loved it. And now it's funny because I think I now know where Matt Hardy got the whole delete thing from.
And we're both nerds, so.
Because I sat down and I watched the entire Death Note anime series on Netflix, which is like 37 episodes of just pure amazing. But there's one of the characters who gets one of the books, and when he writes someone's name in the book, he goes, delete, delete, delete. And there's parts in the show where he's just writing names, and he's just like, delete, 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 delete. And I'm like, oh, okay. I think I know where Matt Hardy got that from now.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with the Hardys. As far as tag team, or are they going singles? But I wouldn't mind seeing Jeff with the Intercontinental Championship.
I agree. So what we're going to do here for the show is we're going to go over some of the big events that happened on Monday Night Raw. I want to go gloss over a couple things that happened as well. Enzo Amore debuts on his Cruiserweight match against Noam Dar. Whatever his finishing move is, that's legit. I kind of like it. Kind of like it's like you put a boot to the face and then drop down and kind of springboard him off the foot. I kind of enjoyed that. We also had Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out declaring that basically Braun Strowman, you need to get ready for Suplex City, bitch. Cesaro defeats Seth Rollins, and then we immediately go into Dean Ambrose and Sheamus. 50-50 booking in that case. Cesaro wins his match. Dean Ambrose wins his match. Poor Emma. They need to stop this. Whatever the hell they're doing with Emma. She won against Mickie James, but
I think I know where they're going with this.
And I hope that you're correct. I hope that what you're about to say, I hope to God you're correct. Because it'd be a great
I actually was kind of hoping would have happened Monday, but there are rumors saying that Paige is just about ready to come back from her neck surgery. With Emma going around saying she started the women's revolution, I think there are a lot of people out there that would argue that Paige was truly one of the, this generation's starters of the women's revolution, especially with, she was really the first chick from NXT to come up and make something.
Right.
So I really think they are setting up a return for Paige to come back with Emma going, I started the women's revolution, I started the women's revolution, and Paige to come out and be like, excuse me? Not to take anything away from Vicky, but excuse me? I started that shit.
And maybe they'll build that up for a couple weeks where, she continuously keeps saying, I started the women's revolution. You get 2-3 weeks out from No Mercy. Yeah, I could see that. I hope you're correct. Because given the entirety of what's happened outside of the ring, it's been a rough year for Paige.
That's putting it lightly.
That's putting it lightly, very lightly. But I love Paige. I'm one of the few people that I think loves Paige for everything. Her ring work, her character could use a tiny bit of work. But she's got that thing that I like about a superstar. She's got the charisma, she's got the ring work, she's got all of it. I enjoy Paige a lot. Paige, keep in mind that I started watching wrestling not a very long time ago. I started watching wrestling when Paige first came up from NXT.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and God, that was a while ago already. But, given the scope of how long
I
you've
remember
been
when
watching
NXT
wrestling,
wasn't even a show. It was like
it was a game
show.
Yeah,
But,
unfortunately.
yeah, no, I was a huge fan of Paige. Everyone who knows me can back that up. She's been gone for a long time now. Lots of problems. She really fell off the radar for me. I have now moved on to Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Even with Paige if she does come back, depending on what she does, I don't know how invested in her I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends. I've met her in person. This is before the downward spiral.
Right.
Really awesome chick, funny to joke with. She was joking around with me and my wife, and she kissed me on the cheek in my picture, and it was awesome. But yeah, I mean, I hope she comes back and has a good return if that's what they are planning to do with her. But
I'm going to say this, and I don't know how well it's going to resonate with our fans listening right now. I don't think a lot of this is Paige's fault. Given I'm talking like, I'm not talking like the sex tape thing. That's some asshole, some fat kid on the other side of the computer fucking doesn't have a life. I'm talking about.
I wasn't even referring to that. I was referring to all the drunken social media things that she was doing with Del Rio, where they were just drunk and obnoxious and stupid.
I think that's Del Rio. I'm sorry if people have a problem with me saying that. I think that was Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah,
I think Paige is a very influential. I think Paige to me kind of comes off as an influential kind of person, or she's influenced by a lot of people. And I don't mean that in any disrespect whatsoever. But some people are like that. Yeah, she's young. She's younger than me, for God's sakes. So she's, even
in my early 20s, I was very impressionable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, impressionable is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, if that is the case, I hope they do build that up with Emma, and that's a good starting feud for Paige if she does return to the WWE. The last thing I want to go over here, I'm just gonna say this, Elias.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I didn't even care about the sex tape thing personally. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, that's fair. But the last thing we'll go over Raw that was just something that happened. Elias against Pelvis Wesley. We're gonna move on.
No, you're forgetting like the biggest thing that happened on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, what's that?
The promo between Roman Reigns and John Cena.
No, we're getting to that. That's one of the other big things we have to get to. So we have two more big things from Monday Night Raw we have to get to. We're going to start with that. Because holy hell. I'm sitting there watching this. It felt like a shoot. I'm sorry. Dave Meltzer said it was entirely scripted. You watch that again, and I call bullshit on Dave Meltzer.
See, I don't know. I disagree with you. I honestly think that's how it was supposed to go. The main reason, I say that because the main reason Vince brought John Cena back over to Monday Night Raw is to fire up guys like Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, like Braun Strowman, to fire those guys up. Mm-hmm. And I think, honestly, and because now we're seeing that this is going to be a thing, I think he brought Cena over to work with Reigns.
And this is a great feud. Because now the fans are going to have to decide. Do I like Roman Reigns or do I like John Cena? And I think in the end, as much as they hate it, I think fans are going to side with Roman Reigns. And I think that's the whole point of this. This is another attempt to get Roman Reigns over by putting him up against the face, the man, himself, John Cena.
But I saw so many people, and I got into a long discussion about this promo because I thought it was one of John Cena's best promos.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, hands down, it was Roman Reigns' best promo ever.
Even that part where he forgot the second part of his line.
And I don't even think that was him forgetting. I honestly, I don't think it was.
No?
I think, and if he did forget, John Cena fucking...
He nailed he nailed it. He
well,
did.
I mean, regardless of whether it was a shoot or a work or scripted or whatever, that brought the absolute best promo out of Roman Reigns. And people are saying, oh, God, John Cena just buried Roman Reigns. And I'm like, did he?
No.
Did he really? Because, in my opinion, yeah, John Cena said some things and Roman Reigns said some things. And, yeah, you know, you could say John Cena promo was better. He said more things. The ultimate thing is we got the best Roman Reigns promo ever. To me, that is a win for the people in the back who are trying to get Roman Reigns, you know, over or whatever. That promo he did was amazing. And yes, John Cena for years has been, you know, king of the mic, only rivaled by probably two people in his 10 plus years in WWE. That being CM Punk and The Rock. Like, when I think about it, those two are probably the only two people who could grab a mic and go toe-to-toe with John Cena and do better.
Mm-hmm.
And so for Roman Reigns to come out and say the things he did, and like, this is how good this promo was for me. I could give two shits about that match.
Mm-hmm.
I could have cared less.
I actually forgot a match happened.
No, I'm talking about their match at No Mercy coming up.
Oh, okay.
I could have cared less about it until that promo.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and I've seen other people too, like, you know, just on Facebook. I didn't really care about this match, but now I'm really invested. A lot of people saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
myself being included.
To me, they did their jobs.
Yeah.
They did their jobs. They made us care about that match in that promo on Monday night. And a lot of people, you know, people were dogging Cena, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, do you even understand the psychology of what they were trying to do?
Yep.
And they don't. They just think, oh, John Cena came out with a shovel and buried Roman Reigns. No, he fucking didn't.
He didn't.
But I think that was one of the best Raw, like, promo segments.
Yeah.
In a very long time. Like I said, it got me from not caring about that match at all to, like, I can't fucking wait for this match now. And I got a feeling Reigns is going over.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people that are sitting there saying that John Cena is going to bury Roman Reigns, first of all, you're more than likely wrong. I believe Roman Reigns is going over in this feud. But so many people are just, I'm like, look at what John Cena has done in the last couple of years. He's put guys like Sami Zayn over. Even though he beat him, he still put Sami Zayn over.
Right.
AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, like Shinsuke Nakamura. He's gotten to the point now where he is putting young talent over, and people are still blinded by that. Like, they're like, oh, no, he's just burying everybody. No, he put, in this last year, he put Kevin Owens over, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Shinsuke Nakamura, all recently, too. You know, like, within the last year. And people are like, oh, he just buries everybody. No. He's to the point in his career now where he's there. I think he's going to start putting people over. Yeah. I've always said it. Chris Lockman said this as well. John Cena doesn't need a title. John Cena, in a sense, is a title. And if you find yourself in a big one-on-one match with John Cena, that means someone in the back is paying attention to you, especially if it's a big one-on-one match.
Right.
Like, beating John Cena alone is almost like winning a title, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And we said the same thing about The Undertaker. Like, beating The Undertaker one-on-one, that's almost as good as winning a title in WWE.
Right. And Roman Reigns is now in line to do both.
I don't think John Cena is going to be the one that gets Roman over to the crowd. I think they'll still boo Roman even more.
I think that it'll start sowing the thread to start getting him over. It won't work right away, but I think it will start that process.
Honestly, I think there's one or two people in WWE that can get Roman Reigns over, and one of them already did it, but they screwed it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's Vince McMahon himself or Triple H.
Yeah, I agree.
You want to get people to cheer for Roman Reigns, put him in a feud with the McMahon family and Triple H.
And I thought they were going to fully commit to that, but no, they screwed it up in the end. So the last thing I want to go over here from Monday Night Raw, I want you to keep this in mind. Alexa Bliss is now the new Raw Women's Champion.
Yes!
Couple of things. One, Sasha Banks is a 4-time Raw Women's Champion. Her combined title reigns
like 3 months,
add up
if
to
that.
83 days.
Okay, yeah.
Alexa Bliss is now a 2-time Raw Women's Champion and a 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion. Her
First
reigns
ever
combined.
Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion as well.
Yep. And her reigns combine out to be 224 days and now counting. What the hell is going on with Sasha Banks? Because she won the title at SummerSlam, and then 8 days later, here we are again.
I don't know. For the life of me, back when she was feuding with Charlotte, I had said that I thought what they were going for at that moment was that either one of them could be women's champion at any given moment. That's why I thought their feud, the title changed so much, is they were trying to prove that there's not just a top woman in the women's division, that there's top women.
Right.
And that, especially between those two, and that any one of them at any moment could win the title.
Right.
I was hoping that's where they were going with it, but now it just seems like it's happening again with Sasha. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing with her. I don't get it.
Right. Yeah, it's really confusing.
I'm happy as hell. I'm happy as hell that the goddess of the women's division is women's champion again, and I am damn sure happy about what happened after that match.
Yep, Nia Jax comes out after the match to congratulate Alexa Bliss. She then steamrolls Sasha Banks in the corner, and then she gets Alexa Bliss up on her shoulders with celebration, only to have her face go completely blank, and she drops her on the canvas behind her. This is definitely setting up a triple threat at No Mercy, I think. Triple threat at No Mercy, I think.
So yeah, I could see that. I could see Nia Jax not being involved in the finish and possibly having Alexa Bliss go over Sasha at No Mercy if it is triple threat.
Right.
And then we'll start to get the Nia Jax Sasha Banks one-on-one feud, or Nia Jax Alexa Bliss one-on-one feud.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because it needs to happen. Because Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, take my fucking money, please.
I've been saying it for months, man. I mean, anyone that's listening can go back and check out previous episodes. I have been calling for that for a long time.
Months, yeah. We're finally getting it, my friend.
I thought I was going to go down to SummerSlam, but...
No, yeah, I thought so too, but I think they wanted to wait, I guess. So, final thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
That was pretty decent.
Yeah, I thought back-to-back pretty good Raws. So yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to go over SmackDown next and kind of recap what happened on there. So we're going to take a quick break, come back, and we'll do all of that. That's next here on the Elite Ringside Network.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Are you an energetic team player who loves to get into lengthy, logical discussions about pro wrestling? The Elite Ringside Network is looking for talented individuals to join their staff today. We are looking for on-air talent, video editors, and blog writers. If you are interested in joining the ever-growing Elite Ringside Network, send your information today to EliteRingsideNetworkWI@gmail.com. Be a part of something great. Be a part of the revolution. Be a part of the Elite Ringside Network.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Spencer Hart from the Elite Ringside Network. Wanted to let you know about some amazing news. You can now listen to all of our great programming on the new Satchel podcast player for your Android and iPhones. Here's the deal. While you're listening to us on Satchel, you can send us a few dollars to make all of our amazing shows even better. So if you're listening to us right now on Satchel, go ahead and click on that donate button to send us some much appreciated donations. And if you're not listening to us on Satchel, I mean, come on, what are you doing? Download the podcast player right now at satchelplayer.com. Exclusive friends of the Elite Ringside Network. Welcome back here to Raw Review and Smack Talk Super Show here on the Elite Ringside Network. We are going to move into SmackDown Live here, and we were talking during the break. Yeah, SmackDown happened.
Yeah, it happened.
Wasn't a big fan of it this week. Poor Rusev. I don't know. You know, we kind of said the same thing about Sasha Banks. What are they doing with Rusev? I'm not sure if Rusev, and I've heard reports that Rusev may be looking for his release.
Yeah, I heard that was just rumors.
Is it? Okay. Even if it's just a rumor, Rusev, for the love of God, has just fallen so far down the power rankings that it's sad.
So with Rusev, like I said, I read an article saying that SummerSlam was just the beginning of the Orton-Rusev feud. So now they announced that next week on SmackDown, Nakamura and Randy Orton are in a number one contendership match to face Jinder Mahal. I am looking for Rusev to come out somehow and distract Randy Orton in that match. Nakamura will probably go over, and that will continue the Rusev-Randy Orton.
And I hope you're correct, because, and I did read that article as well, because we were both thinking, we were watching SummerSlam, that, okay, it ended in like 15 seconds with an RKO, what the hell?
Yeah, the whole point behind that was to basically pump Randy Orton back up, because at that point he had lost every pay-per-view match since WrestleMania, and they wanted to build him back up to be the Viper again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So looks like
boy, did we see the Viper.
Yes, we did. Yeah, and Randy Orton really even during the tag match, was pretty vicious. It was what happened after that match too that yay.
I was waiting for it too. I'm like, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so after the tag match, Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura are standing in the ring. Shinsuke's doing his celebratory pose, and Randy Orton just kind of stands there, jumps in the air, and RKO's Shinsuke into the mat. It was
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, and it's great. It was great. I love Shinsuke, but seeing those RKOs out of nowhere just makes me incredibly happy. It makes me happy to watch a grown man spiked into the ground.
Or Swagsuke, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's gonna go over next week. Like I said, I got a feeling Rusev will somehow get involved, cost Randy Orton the match. And Swagsuke will go over.
Yeah. I do want to talk real quick about that tag team division. reported on Monday, Xavier Woods suffered an MCL sprain. He did not damage his MCL really any further than just a sprain.
Oh, man. Did you see the video?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, so I watched the video at first, and to me, at first I thought it was like an ankle injury. But then I flipped my phone sideways and kind of zoomed in on it more, and I was watching it, and I realized when he went for that tornado DDT, his left knee, when he landed, buckled backwards.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, when I watched it, yeah, it's like one of those jaw-dropping, like, when he yelled, oh, shit, out loud moments. And he's lucky that it was just
Oh, my
rain.
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you just watch it?
Yeah, I just pulled it up right now on cageseats.com.
Yeah, the way it backbended like that,
Yeah, that's,
lucky that it was just a sprain.
yeah. Xavier Woods is, he's really lucky. That's nothing more than a sprain. But the New Day against the Usos, winner decides the stipulation for their upcoming tag team rematch. It hasn't been announced when yet. I assume at Survivor Series. Or not Survivor Series. What's the next SmackDown pay-per-view? Whatever it is, I can't remember it off the top
They
of my
even
head.
promoted on SmackDown last night? Because I don't remember it.
No, they haven't started promoting yet because it's like 7 weeks out.
Okay.
But yeah, I assume at the next pay-per-view, or even maybe sooner, they will get Hell in a Cell. I'm sorry, it's Hell in a Cell in Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume it'll be some form of no DQ match, something like that. Because that's usually how it goes at Hell in a Cell. There's a lot of DQ matches.
I'd love to see them. I'd love to see them in a tag team Hell in a Cell match.
Has there ever been a tag team Hell in a Cell match?
Nope.
Oh my God. Okay. If you're listening, people that make it so, that needs to happen. Because those are the perfect teams to do it.
Yeah, I think they could do some cool shit. The only tag team match I can think of off the top of my head from Hell in a Cell was when DX fought. Was it Vince McMahon and the Big Show?
Yeah.
And then I think Shane got involved, but that's when they shoved Vince's head in the Big Show's ass, I believe. That's the only one off the top of my head that I can think of that's happened inside Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean the way these two teams, they just have that chemistry, and you don't find it with everybody. There's teams where you can't do shit. Nothing goes right when you work together. But then there's people that everything just works smoothly. I mean, even remember when I was doing some of my training, just doing a simple collar elbow tie-up, there was guys like, we didn't mesh well together. Our lockups were very stiff and very like not comfortable. And I could tell, okay, just off of that, we would probably have a not so good match. But I remember, not to drop a name, but I remember training with Logan Lynch, me and him locking collar elbow tie-ups together, so smooth, so fluid. And we could just tell, okay, if we ever had a match together, just off of just doing our lockups, we could tell, okay, we have that fluidity, we would have a smooth match together. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just know, and that's just part of it in the biz and trying to adapt to. But New Day and the Usos, they have that fluidity. They have that flawless, seamless, they make it look so easy. They make it look so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are a couple tag teams I can think of that. The New Day and the Usos. The other one I can think of that comes to my mind is when DIY was together in the Revival.
Yeah.
Those two tag teams as well just put on an absolute show.
Yep.
Yeah. So the Usos win. They will determine the stipulation in the next coming weeks for their championship rematch for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. A couple of other things I just want to go over very quickly. Bobby Roode defeats Mike Kanellis in a singles match.
You hear about him?
Yeah, I didn't know about his problem.
Nobody knew about that until Maria put that out on social media.
Yep, so it was announced on Maria's social media that Mike Kanellis has actually been struggling with a pain medication addiction. He's been getting treatment.
Prescription pain medication.
Yeah. He's been getting treatment, things like that. So we wish Mike, the best of luck. That's never a good thing to go through.
Now I wonder if people backstage knew about that and why, that's why he hasn't really been on much and why he's been pushed at all.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that.
Makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Yeah. So I hope that things get better for Mike, because that's never a good thing you want to see people go through. Also on the card, AJ Styles in the United States Championship Open Challenge defeats Ty Dillinger. But it was also during that match, before the match, that Baron Corbin was looking to accept the challenge, and right before Baron could slide into the ring and accept the challenge, Ty Dillinger jumps in the ring, pops Baron in the face, and the ref rings the bell with Ty in the ring. So we'll probably see a feud with Baron and AJ coming up.
That whole thing was weird. They did a backstage segment with Baron Corbin, and he's like, I'm going to go ahead and answer this open challenge, and then AJ comes out, Ty Dillinger's music hits, he comes out, Corbin comes out with Ty Dillinger halfway down the ramp. He's like, what are you doing? I was going to do this. And he's like, it's open challenge, dude. I took it.
So
they got in a little shoving match, and Corbin attacked Ty Dillinger. He got up on the ring apron. Ty Dillinger knocked him off the ring apron and told the ref to ring the bell.
So keep in mind, last week with the United States Championship match against Kevin Owens with Baron Corbin as special guest referee, Baron had said to AJ that if you win, I want first dibs on the U.S. Open Challenge. So that's where I think this was stemming from.
It's he told Kevin Owens, if you win that match, I get the next match. AJ Styles basically told Baron Corbin, every week I'm going to come out and do an open challenge, so if you want a match, just come out and answer the challenge.
Right.
I don't really think he said, you're definitely next, but this is just another thing that they're doing, another punishment to Baron Corbin. They said something I don't remember who said it. They said something about Baron Corbin, and I was like, oh, wow. They are really feeding the commentary team negative things to say about Baron Corbin. I can't remember what it was, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh. Because that's also been part of his punishment as of late, is creative feeding the announcement team negative things to say about Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
And they said something on SmackDown, and I wish I could remember what it was, and I'm sorry that I don't.
Yeah,
but
I don't remember off the top of my head either.
know when they said it, I was just like, ooh, they are sticking it to him.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to go over here is the opening tag match with the Ascension and Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. What are your feelings about Shelton Benjamin teaming with Chad Gable?
I'm not shocked by it. I think it's a good move. Shelton Benjamin is basically a 10-year older version of Jason Jordan, so but way better in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he's back. I mean, Christ, Shelton Benjamin is a human highlight reel.
Yeah.
Just go back and look at some of the amazing things he's done, especially in the Money in the Bank matches. Lots of springboards. Dude could springboard for days on pretty much anything and anyone. The Ascension essentially got squashed in that match, basically.
That's
which
the
has kind of
assumption,
been, that's been their thing since coming up to the main roster, is just freaking getting squashed. They were so dominant in NXT. There's so much promise coming up, and then just everything went wrong for them. Nothing good.
Yeah.
And it just sucks. I really liked them when they were in NXT.
Yeah, so did I. Final 5 minutes here of the show. Let's get your thoughts on SmackDown.
Oh, just a couple of things I wanted to add up. I know you got things to do here, but I'll try to be quick. Kevin Owens coming out and basically calling out Shane McMahon for the whole ref swap thing. Shane's like, "Hey man, I didn't assert myself. He quit. He took off his shirt, threw it at me, and he left. I needed a referee at that time, so I put the shirt on and finished the match." Mm-hmm. Which then got us Sami Zayn versus Aiden English, and basically Kevin Owens on commentary saying, "You know what, this ref's not doing his job." He goes, takes the ref shirt, screws over Sami Zayn. So yes, definitely this whole Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens feud is going, full throttle now.
Yep. And
also the Fashion Police, just week after week with home runs.
Yeah.
I kind of want to buy that shirt too, the new Fashion Police shirt.
Yeah.
Those guys are just insane. I love them.
They got over the old-fashioned way.
The one thing Tyler Breeze said just fucking cracked me up. And there's like the 2B sign, and then like they shine the light on it, the 2B or not 2B. And he goes, "Well, that is the answer." And obviously Shakespeare, to be or not to be, that is the question. I fucking died. Like, to be or not to be, that is the answer. And I almost spit my soda out. I thought it was so funny. It was so clever. Because I'm sure everyone was thinking he was going to say,
"That's the question."
That's the question. And I don't know. Nerd moment for me, but awesome.
Yeah. I enjoy the Fashion Police a lot. They got over the old-fashioned way, just like the New Day. Doing their old stupid shtick to the point where people started kind of pay attention to them and what they were saying and just laugh and enjoy themselves. Look for them to be tag team champions soon, I think.
The other thing, real quick, is we had the moment between Natalya and Carmella.
Yeah.
Bull crap with the Money in the Bank. Didn't really care for it. I also want to brought this up. Tamina. Tamina looked absolutely horrible in the ring last night on SmackDown, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I don't know if it was the local talent that she worked with, but it looked stiff. It didn't look very good at all. At some points, it didn't even look safe.
Yeah.
When she tried throwing her under the bottom rope, I mean, her freaking face, snapped off the bottom rope. And I'm just like, oh, God. That was just a whole train wreck.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not pretty for Tamina yesterday on SmackDown. So they got to do a lot of work with Tamina, I think, to build her up. So...
ring rust or what, but it did not look good. And it sucks because I'm actually a fan of hers.
Yeah.
So that really bummed me out on that aspect. As far as SmackDown overall, I thought it was just okay.
Yeah, I agree.
It had its moments for me that I really liked, but I think Raw blew SmackDown on.
Oh yeah, Raw definitely wins the battle of the brands this week. So with about 60 seconds, a couple things happen next week on Raw, Intercontinental Championship match, Jeff Hardy and The Miz, and then also next week on SmackDown, we have... Oh my gosh, I forgot what's happening next week on SmackDown. Oh, the number one contendership match for the WWE Championship, Randy Orton versus Shinsuke. Who you got on both of those, real quick?
I already told you I'm going Shinsuke for the number one contender match. Mm-hmm. I don't know, on the Intercontinental title match, I'll be happy either way, but I'm going to go ahead and say Jeff Hardy.
I will as well. I think Jeff Hardy is going to pick it up And that'll be fun. That'll be something I think we won't see if that is the case. So I've got Shinsuke winning next week as well. The interference was reset.
I think what that'll do is that'll give us the Jeff Hardy Miz feud going into the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Jeff Hardy will retain, go over. Miz will go off, shoot his movie, and then come back and probably get right back on the IC title picture.
I agree. So that's going to do it for us here at the Elite Ringside Network. We want to thank everybody listening today. So for AJ and myself, thank you so much for listening. We will be back next week with Raw and SmackDown.